right. Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer Van Dijk. I'm the Senior Vice President of Sports Partnerships at Dapper Labs. If you don't know Dapper Labs, we are the ones behind NBA Top Shot, NFL All Day, UFC Strike, and a number of others in the blockchain Web3 space. But more interesting than that, I am super excited to share the stage with Cam Jordan, star defensive end for the New Orleans Saints, and Web3 aficionado. Welcome, Cam.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it for having me on. I don't know about aficionado, but I have an obsessive deep dive with things. You know, like off season, you find a bag of chips, and next thing you know, you're at the bottom of that bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? In season, you run a lap, you end up running 5 or 6. You know, just obsessive. You know, you get COVID 1 week in the off, during season, and miss your first game since your sophomore year of college. You just deep dive into what the Web3 space is. You know, you end up buying a whole lot of sand plots. You know, gosh darn Sandbox got me, and then took off.
So there is an advantage to COVID then.
There was. I made a lot of Ethereum. I made a lot of Ethereum in 10 days.
Was it just one bag of chips though?
No, of course not. Come on, off season. As soon as season's over, you know, you grab a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos, throw some hot sauce on there. Next thing you know, you look up and you've got, cheese puff on your fingers, and you're like, what have I done? And there's like 5 random bags just thrown across, and you look over at your son, and you're like, what did you do? And he's like, no, Dad, you did it. And that makes sense. Yeah,
that makes sense.
I'm gonna blame my kids.
I don't have kids to blame. It happens anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those blessings. You know, you get to push it off on your 7-year-old at all times.
Sounds
Who ate
good.
this candy? And you got to blame the 7-year-old.
So when you went down the wormhole of Web3 and blockchain, like how did it catch your attention? What sparked for you?
Well, that is why it's called a wormhole. When I think about what initially brought me in, I mean, so it'd probably be about 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago. You start seeing these pings. You know, I'm in group chats all across the university I went to was the University of California, Berkeley. I've got friends that have been in the space. You know, bought these cool cats back in the day. These play to earn type NFTs way back. So they've been sort of talking about it, and I was just like, all right, nerds, we'll deal with you in a second. But no, like one of my best friends, Mike Kendrick, sort of put me on, and I've been in crypto since 2016, 2017, and probably knew about Bitcoin and probably should have bought in way before that. You know, back when my brother was in the dark web, buying pizzas and stuff, or whatever it was at the time. I've been in the crypto space for a minute, so it was just a natural evolution. Somewhere around, let's call it 2020, started looking at different projects, seeing what I could get into, and then 2021, by the time I sort of circled this is what I want to buy, it was way too many Ethereum deep that I wanted to put in. So I was like, you know what, when I get 100 sats, I'll buy a Bored Ape. And so that was my first major blue chip that I bought. But prior to that, I was like minting and flipping, and just like I said, I get into it. You know, it's something about that rush that you feel. It keeps you away from the casinos and puts you into the NFT space, because you're really just, you learn how to do your own research. And when I say learn how to do your own research, like you join Discords, you click some links, you lose some Ethereum, you learn that there's scams out there like anywhere else, and then you start to really understand how to go about buying NFTs. And it probably started off with Nifties when they dropped like a Matrix collection. You can't not want a Matrix.
Of course.
You can't not want to buy some Disney NFTs. I mean, it started off just like having fun, and then it got real serious, and now the group chats take off, and like, bro, have you checked this mint? Have you got on this whitelist? You get in the Discord, and you join the community, and you have some fun. Like, you earn your stripes in the Discord.
Yeah, you do. No, are you into lots of different types of tech, or was this just kind of an evolution of a path of already being interested in technology?
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes down to my NFT, the love that I have for NFTs, it probably came from the stimulation of crypto. in my mind, 2017, I was like, Litecoin is going to be the takeover. You couldn't tell me. I was heavy into Litecoin.
I thought that too.
Man, look, and I was like, look, Litecoin, Ethereum. I think I bought into Ethereum back when it was like 90 something bucks, $100, right? And right around then, Litecoin was like 80 something bucks. So what is it worth now? 47. But I went heavy into Litecoin. Had I went as heavy as I did into Ethereum, we'd be in a great place. But it is what it is. It's just that initial reading about it, thinking about the connectivity, thinking about the real life applications, gas fees is, thinking about how it can actually be used, utilized, and seeing what the future is for it. And the future is so bright for all of this space. That's what's so exciting about it. Like, as much as I like to say, oh yeah, I'm doing it for this year, I'm not. Like, when my kids are in college, I'm like, all right, let's see what it's looking like. And it's going to be hefty, or it's going to be worth nothing. But either way, I'd love to see where it all ends up, because when it comes down to the coins that are always coming out, the altcoins, the meme coins, it gets to be fun. Like, it gets to be really fun, which leads you back into crypto. Like, you're always going to have good projects, bad projects, and those projects that skyrocket. And that alone is a ride, and I'm always willing to hop in the car.
It taps into so many things that make us human, right? Like following our interests and things like that. How does this play out in an NFL locker room? Are you an evangelist in the locker room too?
Man,
and do guys care?
There's always, like, in the locker room, the commonality is guys understand money, right? They understand they've got money coming in. They've got to understand that, there's appreciating assets in life and depreciating assets in life. And, at least in the Saints locker room, like, guys have, whatever it is, their interests, whether it be cars, and I only know how to change a tire. So if you ask me about a car, I can't help you. But if you talk about land, you talk about real estate, you talk about stocks, that's where things get interesting. You're in a hot tub, you just got done working out, and guys are like, bro, but have you seen the Amazon split though? And you're like, I did, and the same, similar speaking, it goes to, all right, well, what project are you looking at? Or, at the time, it was like, what do you think about moonbirds? Or what do you think about, whatever the next one was, and it just sort of goes from there. And for guys that don't know, are always asking questions. If anything, we've got a very inquisitive locker room. Guys are always asking questions, whether about defense, or especially during season, but in the off seasons where you're going to catch those questions. All right, bro, like, how did you get in here? All right, what is sandbox? What do you mean, what is sandbox? How do you not know? Like, what do you mean? What is Bored Ape? Come here, let me show you what Yuga Labs is talking about. Or like, let me show you something about Bapes or Business Apes or whatever. Like, how do you not know how to use NFL all day? Like, let me show you something. So if I can show you them a little bit, and they take to it, great. I mean, I've caught so much information from young guys about different stocks that came through or different whatever. So it's all about just trying to push you along. The greatest thing about it is there's always in a locker room of 53 people, there's going to be like-minded people, as well as there's going to be adversaries of NFTs or adversaries of crypto that are traditionalists that are like, no, it's all about the stocks. All right, but what about in the early 90s when everybody was against the internet coming out? And right. I'll say there was a whole boom there. I just wasn't old enough to buy in.
Some of us were. That's okay. We'll leave that for later. Do you guys get excited? Do you get excited? Or how does it feel when you see yourself in a moment? I mean, I know you see yourself on highlights all the time, but this is something that people buy and own and cherish. How does that feel?
It's definitely one of those, I wouldn't say surreal at this point, because I'm like, a decade years into the NFL, so I've seen myself in a number of highlights, especially if it's against Atlanta Falcons and we're like kicking their ass again and again and again and again and again. But it's great because of like my love for NFTs has gotten super deep over the last year and a half, 2 years, to then be able to own my own moment. So then I'm like, yeah, let me check out my wallet real quick. Yeah, don't know if I got an AK, I've got a Demario Davis, I've got myself. And it's like owning trading cards again. Like, if you remember those days back in the Gap, I'm not sure how young the crowd or how old the crowd is, but if you had a pack of Pokemon cards in 4th, 5th grade, you was ripping that pack trying to see what you had. NFL all day gives you that same vibe again. Like, all right, let me get this pack, and like now you got to know the dates, which packs are coming out, and now you got to like hope for some good ones, and you get some good ones, and then you get some guys that you don't know, which is interesting enough. I thought I'd be like, scrap them. I was like, well, let me look them up. And so now it brings a little bit more connectivity. Like, I didn't know some of these punt returners on some team that gets washed. Like, we won't say who they are, the Jaguars. But, like, you know, you always get to, like, add a little bit more interest into the sport that I already love. Like, in my mind, you know, I'm like, if I ever catch a golden moment like Drew Brees, it'll be like an elite moment because I'm like, I know him, and I played for him, and he's the greatest quarterback of all times. And when I say that, you're going to say like Peyton Manning, or you're going to throw out Tom Brady. I'm like, they have all these rings, you know, they got more rings, but they can't throw for 5,000-yard seasons. Like, there's nobody with a higher accuracy than them. They're great because they're great, but Drew is phenomenal.
Well, let's see how they play out on all day.
Right?
That'll be the real
That's what I'm
test.
saying, right? Tom Brady was, never mind. We won't talk about it.
But I mean, I think what you're saying speaks to a number of things, right? The potential to increase fandom and things like that, but also possibly to empower athletes in this. Like, do you see that as a path, either, you know, in terms of how guys feel about themselves or the investment and the opportunity?
Absolutely. Like I said, I think I did a ticket giveaway with some like NFL All Day moments. And from that, I also had other guys texting me, like, you know, Miko from the Kansas City texted me, hey, man, like, how was NFL All Day? What did you do? Like, you know, from there, you know, I just have other guys in the league that be like, all right, I saw you do this on Twitter, or I saw you whatever. Like, explain to me what that is. And I almost feel like an ambassador. I'm like, bro, how do you not know about this? Come on, get into it. We have, you know, their NFL All Day moments, and they're sort of like yours, but also you can have great interactions with the fan base that way. It's literally, you know, I would say it's literally like being at practice, and like after practice, fans are just waiting. That's what it is all day in NFL All Day. Yeah. Like, you know, these moments drop, and there's such great interactions. Like, guys be like, hey, man, I got your moment from when you smashed, you know, the Carolina Panthers for 3 sacks, or maybe it's 3.5 sacks, or whatever it is. You know, there's multiple times of multiple sacks across those people across the way.
All can be bought on
all
NFL
can
All
be
Day.
bought on NFL All Day.
Well, and just to bring everyone in, so we launched NFL All Day in closed beta late last year, and this season, for the start of the season, we'll be launching it in open beta for all fans. And, you know, I think it's kind of
Wait,
fun.
so you're saying I was involved before everybody was allowed to get involved?
Of course you would.
Huh. I feel elite for that. Thanks.
You can use the word ambassador, influencer, you name it.
Influencer. I will change I've been waiting for the chance to change my my IG page. I'm just like, forget the athlete part. I'm just going to put influencer. I've been waiting. Influencer, model.
Podcaster.
You know, like, yeah, all of it. I can't wait.
NFL All Day model. I like
NFL
it.
All Day.
I like it.
You think I'm kidding? I've been waiting. I'm like, as soon as I get another like photo shoot, I'm like, model, published.
But let's talk. All right, so let's talk about fandom, right? As an athlete, you have a couple different channels now to reach your fans. Social media mainly, but you know, Top Shot moments, like your collectors. And not too far in the future, you'll be able to like actually see who all those people are and reward them directly, I'm sure. But for now, like, you know, do you feel anything or a special feeling about those fans who, you know, really want to own a piece of Cam Jordan? Virtually.
I'll say they can't own me. I'm not to be.
No, definitely not.
NFL All Day, those moments, for sure. I've literally like walked in, again, like in New Orleans, and like, bro, I was like, I picked up your moment, bro. I'm so juiced. I'm like, I don't even know like what that means, bro. Like, he's like, I just want to be a part of it. And I'm like, well, with this moment, you sort of are, bro. Now throw that highlight again. Let me see it too. It's always feel good to see them get sacks. I love it as much as they do. But then it's just like, you know, even on social media, like you're going, you know, guys will DM me, or, you know, fans will DM me like, hey, bro, like this moment I have is elite. I remember because there was one fan that went to the game, and so there's a super connectivity there. And he's like, bro, I remember watching in real life, and now I own the moment. It's like something like you can't not get. Like, that's fire. That's dope to me.
And it's better than Well, I imagine it's kind of same as a jersey, except you get more out of it. You can replay it and feel that emotion all the time.
Right, except this jersey moves. And
Right.
but for sure, I think that's sort of what it does. It allows your true fans to rep you, and allows just the fans of the game to sort of get another perspective of another player. Like, you may not be a Saints fan, but you catch my moment. You're like, dang, let me go tune in.
I mean, people respect great plays, great work. Like,
Yeah,
absolutely.
as long as you don't play for Atlanta.
For who?
Atlanta, you know,
Right.
you know, it's really just Atlanta.
Not
I
Jackson.
like 30 other teams though, like, you know.
But how is it interacting with fans in the community? I mean, you know, you get in there, right, on Twitter, Discord, things like that.
Absolutely. I talk a lot of junk on Discord, so don't catch me in Discord. That's why I don't have, you know, I've got my I feel like Kevin Durant. I've got my my regular name, and then I've got a burner account on Discord. If you catch my burner
Do
account,
we get to know what that is?
No, because then you be like, dang, he's talking hellish shit for this stuff, hellish junk for this. But you know, but just that interaction alone is pretty fun. Being on social media, being on Twitter, because I will flame a fan up, like, if they step incorrectly. But I do it PC wise, whereas on Discord I don't have to worry about that.
All right, well, break down Discord for us.
Yeah.
For us in the crowd that might not know or think
Who
that
knows?
Discord is the harder social platform.
Right?
How do you, like, what's the secret to it? What's your key?
I mean, that's where you earn whitelists. That's where you earn, like, you know, that's where you join communities, and you sort of get to see what the community is talking about. There's always, like, in that community, say, you know, you join the Azuki community, and you go into the alley, or, you know, whatever the open Discord is, and you're just, like, chatting up. There's always going to be helpful people there. There's going to be like, hey, you know, this drop is coming up. Be ready for this. There's, you know, whatever it is. Also be aware that, you know, there's a hacker here, there's whatever there, there's a scam coming up, be alert for this. It's just it's an open avenue of community. And also Discord is probably a little bit harder to navigate. You know, I first got in Discord and I was like, what are we doing? And it's just not, it's not like Twitter. Twitter, you download, you get the app, and you just throw out your rampage of thoughts, and then you can catch everybody else's. Discord is like, you have to know where you're going. It's like being in the streets, you know. You have to know which ways to navigate. You can't just walk into one of these open VCs, because it gets real in Discord.
It definitely does.
Does.
Is that your favorite platform in this? Like, when you think about researching and finding different NFT projects, is it mainly Discord, or what are your favorites?
No. So if you're thinking about doing your own research, right, it's always, you know, especially in the NFT space, it's like, first of all, I treat my my NFTs like any art that I want to buy. I have to like it, right? I'm not just going to buy some ugly stuff because it's going to be fire in the long run in terms of the money that you make. Because at this point, like, I'm like, I don't want to hold something that's trash to me. Like, you know, if it's ugly to me, I'm just not going to push for it. I'm not going to be excited about it. So like your art. Then, of course, when they say, you know, do your own research, DYOR. Also, shout out to my boy Dior from Dapper Labs. It's his birthday today. He turned 34. Woo-hoo. Just thought about that, my dog. Just thought about DYOR, big Dior. But do your own research. You know, you tap in there, and you literally go through Discord, figure out what the community feels like, how it feels. Check Twitter for any FUD, which is negative comments, anything that goes there. But then you go to the website. You go look at a roadmap. You go look at, you know, who the founders are. See if they're credited, non-credited. To see if they actually have a face behind the name. Which, you know, without putting projects out there, there was some controversy. There's always controversy, but it's always great to know exactly what you're pushing for. Because if you get into a great community, I've got now in real life friends that I've made through some of these things.
Should we define FUD?
What is the actual terminology of FUD? I call it negative comments, and then in my mind, I also put it like a foobar situation. There's a curse word in there with the, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vowel and a consonant.
Yeah, they're vowel and consonant, something like that. But FUD is just like that negative. It could just be like all hate. It could, but it could also be accurate. In any situation where there's a lot of haters, there's probably some truth in there. You know, so you have to fill out your own community and try and figure out where you lie in that.
And do your own research. Absolutely.
Do your own research.
Yep, for sure. And do you find, like, among your friends that are into this and things like that, or among the other athletes that you interact with, is there kind of things that you're all sort of interested in?
Not at all. We're all separate. Like,
all over.
We're all over. Like, I'll bring in a project and be like, bro, I think this is gonna be awesome. Whatever it was in, like Invisifriends, Invisipets. It was, and my boy was like, bro, you're a clown. And I was like, dang, that's tough. I was like, all right, what you bringing to the table? He's like, man, these moonbirds gonna go off. And I was like, man. So then we have like a side bet going on. We both buy into the project. Of course, moonbirds take off, and I lost that bet. But I also won because I have a moonbird. You know what I'm saying? Like and we got in super early, and when you work in and you buy whitelist price, you're good.
What don't you buy? What do you avoid?
The art that I don't like,
okay.
Or like a super hyped up project, like that also makes me nervous too. When you got way too much positivity, like it can't all be positive.
No.
Like at that point I feel like there's bots in there. You've clearly bought everybody, and you're pushing your own project, and I'm like, I don't like it. And I also don't buy ugly art. So my boy was talking about a project, Goblin Town, and I was like, bro, I'm not buying this ugly piece of wood. He's like, nah, bro, they're so ugly, they're sort of cool. And I was like, well, you be cool, bro, and I'll be over here.
Take your chances.
Yeah, absolutely. And I still and they took off, and I was like, that could have been a good quick flip, and that's on me. But it's the ugly as hell. I can't do it.
So obviously some part of investing in NFTs and the Web3 space is about investment and, and flipping and things like that. We actually find in our research that the overwhelming majority is really around fandom and owning a piece of, the history of the NFL or NBA and stuff. Now that we're going to open NFL All Day up to all NBA or NFL fans and sports fans generally, what gets you most excited about that with more fans coming through now?
I mean, I just think that's more opportunities, right? I mean, since we've been, I guess, closed beta, when we open this up, there's going to be more moments being made. There's going to be, there's going to be more phenomenal catches to be seen around, around the globe. It's going to be more phenomenal sacks to be made. I don't even know who Carolina's quarterback is. There's like 3 potential starters there. You say you go down to Miami, there's Tua, there's Teddy Bridgewater. Like, there's so many situations I look forward to because I'd like to sack them all. For me, it's not about just sacking quarterbacks, but also making offensive linemen look bad. So I can't wait for that to be a real thing. I have a large disfavor towards them.
We'll make sure they get featured.
Yeah, not the quarterbacks, the offensive linemen. To be specific, the offensive linemen. Yeah. And not just because they're big and fat and slovenly, but
they try.
They also get in my way, and they stop me from doing what I need to do sometimes.
So we've seen in the NBA, like some of the guys have taken on when they make a good play in the moment. They're like, "Oh, top shot this," right? It's sort of crossed into pop culture in a way. I anticipate you saying that the next time you sack somebody this season.
Next time I get a chance to sack a quarterback, I'm going to whisper in his ear, "NFL all day." And just see what happens. It might be creepy, we'll see how this turns out. But after, I'm sure I'm going to get a sack. There's like 17 games, 17 opportunities to get a sack. The very first one I'm going to have and I'm going to text y'all like, I did it. And you're like, what? I did it.
It'll help
I hope
us
it's Kirk
improve.
Cousins, honestly, in London. We play the Minnesota Vikings in London October 2nd. I only know 2 games this year, and I only know 1 date. I know we play Atlanta Falcons the first game of the year, and I know we play Minnesota Vikings like the 4th or 5th game of the year in London.
So this can happen early in the season.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. I don't even know who the quarterback for Atlanta is going to be. Matt Ryan left me. So rude. And so, they drafted a kid, and then they picked up Marcus Mariota, and they drafted a kid, which clearly means I don't know his name. It is Desmond Ridder.
Highly sackable.
I threw it out there. Yeah. He's officially a dirty bird. That's his fault. I hope it's him. And then I'm like, yeah, welcome to the big leagues. NFL all day.
You're going to help us improve the product because we'll beef up the audio so we can hear you say that.
So you're going to hear the whisper? Even better.
Don't be mic'd up that day.
I hope I am.
Or maybe you, yeah.
They're just going to highlight that one. NFL all day.
So I was listening to your podcast.
Big trust levels with my dog, Mark Ingram. Saints active leading rusher Mark Ingram. Potential Saints Ring of Honor Mark Ingram. Draft class 2011. Greatest draft class ever to be made. Not because, just because of him, but, probably.
I mean, your names are kind of close in the alphabet. Maybe you'll both be on the Ring of Honor.
Possibly. I was picked 24th. He was picked 28th. And draft class 2011, we had some heavy hitters. There was a Captain J.J. Watt. I always throw a captain in there because he reminds me of Captain America. It's probably his chin.
That's his Discord name?
Yeah, most likely if he had one. In my mind, he only eats steak and potatoes and just runs and crushes boulders. So, there was Cam Newton in our draft class, Von Miller, A.J. Green, Patrick Peterson, Julio Jones, Captain J.J. Watt, Robert Quinn. We and that's like the top 10, Then, of course, there's like 22 other guys with me, Cam Hayward, Mark Ingram, one of the Pounceys. You don't ask me which one. There was Pouncey centers. They're both Pro Bowlers, so, they're pretty elite players. But, so, I like to flex a little bit when it comes to
But you only do the podcast with Mark.
But only do the podcast with Mark. I get excited about 2011 draft class as well. Me and my dog, Mark Ingram, are just wrapping up our 3rd season of Trust Levels, the podcast.
When does the next episode drop?
Right around, we try and finish before training camp, right? So we can just focus on football. We don't Draymond Green it, we don't do it right after a win. And I'm just going to leave it there.
Any guests of note that you can tell us about this season?
Man, we finally got my dog, Jameis Winston, on.
Oh, cool.
We had to start off with a great one. We've had guys like Lamar Jackson on, Alvin Kamara, of course. One of these days after Mike T wins the MVP again this year as he comes back healthy, we'll probably have him on for the 4th season. But this year, I think we've had some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty much all Pro Bowl caliber players. So when you see the names, you'll be able to recognize them easily. Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, been blessed. I know a few people. Been in the league. This is year dozen for me. I've also dubbed it year dozen. So been here for a while.
And how does that feel going into this next season?
I don't know. I'm officially once Drew retired, I was officially like the most tenured player, even with Malcolm Jenkins, who left and came back because he had some gap years. Mark Ingram left and came back, had some gap years. Yeah, I'm like the most tenured player on the team. So I feel old. I feel like Gandalf, just like old and wise and still powerful.
Well, the oracle though for all the young up and coming guys to look up to.
Yeah, we could go with that one.
They can buy your NFL All Day moments.
They probably did. Because some of them were probably still in college while this happened last year. The new ones for sure are like, man, I've been watching you. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't put on the how long you've been watching me. Don't make me feel weird.
All right, let's go into lightning round. My favorite part. Favorite feature of NFL All Day?
Owning a moment and having the moments. How do you say that? Whatever.
Chronologically?
There we go.
Yep.
Drop, there's whatever you feel in that moment, you can always go bid on those moments and try and earn a number 94. And I feel like they knew I was gunning for 94 and raised the price increasingly. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to grab number 9 and number 4. Play the part.
Hey, the mint count is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's probably my favorite one just because I like to I even did a giveaway. And before you guys could I was like, yo, how do we do this? I just started playing with my kids. I was like, all right, pick a number between 1 and 2,000. And my son was like, what? And I was like, yeah, my bad. We haven't got that high. Oh, because he was 5 or 6 at the time. And I was like, all right, 1 and 100. He's like, yeah, 94. I was like, no, you can't do that one. They know that one. All right, do another one. And so we picked up a couple of them. We gave some tickets away.
Oh, that's awesome.
Bring them with the kids. I told my daughter, I was like, all right, baby girl, give me a number between 10 and 20. And she was like 5. And I was like, no. I was like, no. She's like, but I'm 5. And I was like, yeah, but I said 10. Okay.
Oh, double benefit, though. She learns to count and your
fans
get rewarded.
She knows how to count. It's the fact that she just is stuck on her number, And I love that about her. So we went, you know what? 5 to 20. She said 5. And I was like, bet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Must follow on Twitter.
Must follow. That's a good one. If it's not, taking myself out of it.
It
I
could
talk
be
a lot.
you if you
no,
want
no, no. I'd say Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Ooh, who's that?
He's a little slot corner. He's pint-sized, but he's a pint-sized devil. You know, like he says exactly what's on his mind. He's our probably one of the best slot corners in the game. Wears number 22 for the New Orleans Saints, but he does not care. He does not care.
And he's a fun follow on Twitter.
He is a fun follow in life, which makes him a fun follow for Twitter. He's a gamer. He started his own e-gaming group situation, a crew. Maybe they're a crew. I just play like online. He has a crew. I don't. Yeah. So he also, whatever it is, like he could be training one day in Atlanta. He'll just show up and he'll be in Houston. It's a phenomenal follow. Just if you want to be entertained.
Chauncey Gardner.
Yeah. If you want to be inspired, Demario Davis.
All right.
Yeah. Devoted Dreamers Foundation. He's all about uplifting the next generation. He drops knowledge. He's a businessman, Christian brother, has a great family. Super inspirational. Like drops quotes all day. You just start snapping and no one's around. You're like, dang. And you realize you're at an airport. You're like, oh, all right, that's awkward. Yeah.
Does your answer change if I ask you a must follow on Instagram?
I don't really.
Forget it.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on. Like Twitter is really just like whatever you're thinking at the moment. I feel like Instagram is almost curated pictures at this point in time. Unless you're me. I just be like, I went here today. And just like try and like throw something out there. Twitter is like in the moment, like a driver cuts you off. And you're like, this mad hatter has got me feeling some type of way today.
And you can check out all the crypto and blockchain news.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right, favorite blog or podcast?
Ooh.
Could be your own.
Favorite blog. Blog is like a vlog. Vlog is like a YouTube. Can we switch that up? Great.
Yeah.
I like watching Dude Perfect and Mr. Beast.
They are great.
Yeah, they're entertaining for sure. Dude Perfect. I'm always looking for what's going to happen next. Mr. Beast. I just want to know like how much money does he have? Like he just like throws it out there, and then
Did you try the burger?
No.
That's pretty good.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it? I'm more of a Guy Fieri's digs, dine-ins, and but teach their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like teach their own. He goes places and maybe it's the fat kid in me because he goes places and like creates things. And I'm just like, damn, I know that's good. Like,
he gets right in there,
and it satiates me not having to go there because he does. I'm like, dang, I would order that too. 7 pounds of a hamburger? No, I feel like I could get that. I don't need that. And, you just go on about it. He did it for me.
All right. Any question I haven't asked you or thing you want to say to the audience?
What question haven't you asked me? That's a great one. I don't know. I just turned 33 2 days ago, so I feel like I got a lot of wisdom
Happy
here.
Birthday.
Yeah. I got a question for you. Where does one secure the cryptocurrency that is the flow token?
Oh, flow tokens?
Yeah.
We can hook you up with that.
Okay, because I really want more tokens in my life.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, we are built. Dapper is built on the Flow blockchain, which is a blockchain that we've created. It is very environmentally friendly and has no gas fees.
Zero.
When you buy All Day Moments and you buy Top Shot Moments, no gas fees.
And if I just wanted to buy the flow token, what's the slippage on there?
That is a fantastic question.
Okay, cool.
I will refer you to somebody else.
Yeah. That makes more sense. That's my bad. Like I said, I know NFTs. I really love blockchains, but I honestly think that the NFL All Day, when it opens up, is going to be phenomenal. And I'll be pushing. I've already asked this question. I'm like, so when can I just like pop up my own wallet? I love that this idea is. It sort of tunes into feeling like owning cards again. And I mean, that was a solid feeling. Like, you know what I'm saying? 5th, 6th grade, you ripped a pack of cards. You were super excited about all the snaps. Like, for me, it was Kevin Nash because I'm from Phoenix. So, after he left Dallas and was with the Suns, I was like, you ripped open a Shaq. once he was with the Suns. It's because, he was with the Lakers, and I'm a Laker hater, so it does nothing for me. I like LeBron again once he leaves the Lakers. I still respect him, but I'm just like, can't root for him. They're like, how did LeBron do? I'll wait. I'll wait till he comes back.
All right, to be continued on Trust Level Season 3.
Absolutely.
Cam Jordan, thank you so much for
Season
joining
4.
me up here.